Hi everybody, thank you for tuning in to our annual meeting. I know this is not how we hope to have our meeting, it's hard to be apart, but we are doing the best we can and we appreciate you tuning into this video. I wanted to start with a quick tour of our new suite, since many of you haven't even had a chance to see it yet. Maybe you were away on vacation or at your winter home, and because we had to close down March 13th, we wanted to make sure that as many of you who want to see it can. So I'm going to give you a quick tour. Come on in. So here we are. It's really new and really beautiful. It even still smells super fresh. This is our welcome lobby area with our front desk that will be staffed by volunteers and students, as well as Susan and I taking turns, so that we can address your questions right when you come in and make sure that we give a friendly hello to all our visitors. This is our wonderful library, and as you can see, we have lots of room for books. So all the books that were upstairs have been moved down here. Some of them are in cupboards and drawers, but they are still organized the same way. And we're really grateful to Barb Stedging, Terry Holden, and Sharon Blum for helping move and organize all of our books. We love this new space. We also have the TV screen, which when we're open, will have daily announcements about HASP classes and HOPE events. We're thrilled for this space. It's really warm and welcoming. If you come this way, you can come straight ahead. And when you're coming for class, we will have coffee and cookies on the end of the island, at both ends of the island here, where you can pick that up before you head into class. So we have this wonderful new reception area for hospitality. And a lot of you have enjoyed already gathering and talking around the island over a cup of coffee and a cookie. We also have the capacity to make more coffee faster, which is a great solution to problems that we've had in the past. If you keep walking forward, you enter our classroom. Come on in. This is our new classroom. As you can see, it's nice and bright, but we also just had new shades installed that are room darkening shades. So all of you who are part of the Laura Verplank movie series, you will be able to come watch movies in here with the new shades now that they darken the room much more than the original ones which were replaced. This can seat up to 100 people with chairs and no tables, or fewer if we're using the tables with chairs. We also have the option to split the room in half. Inside this wall over there, there is a divider that sections the room in half and is soundproof. So if we need to have two small classes on each side, we're able to do that as well. And we have all new technology with the screens coming down out of the ceiling for PowerPoint presentations, and of course the hearing loop system and wonderful sound in this room. It's a great new space, and in addition to this, we still have full access to our upstairs classroom, so we're able to provide more than one class at a time. If you keep going past the island where we have the coffee and cookies, you'll see that we have this whole wall is bulletin board where we can post announcements and pictures of our new members. So it's a great space for you to keep up to date on what's happening. Right behind here we have two workstations, one that will be Susan's and one that's for volunteer or student worker, or someday if we have to hire additional staff, there's still an additional workspace there. On this end, on the left, we have our HASP conference room. This is a very comfortable space for small committee groups to meet, and also for us to have private meetings or small book groups. To your right is the HASP Director's Office. This is my new space with lots of windows. I finally have light after 13 years. Thank you, it's wonderful. And I just love it, and it's wide open with glass so that I can see who's coming in and out, and you can see me and know when I'm here if you want to stop and say hello. This is a great space. We're so excited about it, and we can't wait to have you back in it. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Kim. Good morning. My name is Larry Lynn, current president of HASP. Welcome everyone to the 2020 Hope Academy of Senior Professionals Annual Business Meeting. Thank you, Susan Timmer, our new program coordinator, for helping record and edit this meeting. At the end of the meeting, I will tell a joke given to me by a highly respected past president. It has been pre-approved by several good friends and the HASP staff. I now call to order the HASP 2020 business meeting. Approval of the June 4th, 2019 minutes was recently done through email. Thank you for your responses. In memoriam, please take a moment with us to remember the HASP members we have lost this year. HASP looks different without them, and we fondly remember their contributions and friendship. Our Executive Director, Kim Mendels, after reading their name, will light a candle in memory of each of them. These candles will remain lit as a reminder of these members for the duration of the meeting.
Thank you, Larry. Today we remember Mary Louise Avery, Ralph Kickert, Carol Rickey, Robert Trees, Jean Skolton, Rosemary Cannell, Lolly Vandenbosch, Sharon McManus, Julia Marchini, David Walter, Bill Butterfield, Elton Bruins, Tom Weber, and Ted Dumais.
Treasurer's Report. The Treasurer's Report was published in the June 2020 Bulletin. The report will be filed for audit, and a final year-end budget analysis will be included in the newsletter once the books are closed at the end of our fiscal year, June 30th. Thanks, Don Cowie, for your excellent work as treasurer. Committee reports. Standing committee reports were also published in the June Bulletin. If any questions were submitted online, Kim will address them. Facilities Fund. Since the campaign that started last September, we have had over $250,000 in generous donations or pledges from our membership to the Future Facilities Endowment Fund. This partially offset the $450,000 withdrawn from the fund to finance our new facilities on the first floor of the Anderson Workman Building. Thanks to those of you who participated in this endeavor. HASP Review. Thanks to David Schmidt, Jan Gebbin, and Susan Miller for their work on putting together the 2020 HASP Review. Special thanks to Jan Gebbin for her cover design and illustrations, and to all the HASP members who contributed to the review. It is available on the HASP website. An email has been sent to you with a PDF copy. Printed copies are available by request, and Kim will now present the director's report.
Thank you, Larry. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this meeting. Although there weren't any specific questions that came in online to the survey regarding the Treasurer's Report or any of the Standing Committee reports, as you know, it's my tradition and I love to still highlight a few things, both about our operating income and budget, as well as highlight some of the very fine work that our 6 standing committees do. So let me start with just making a few comments about the Treasurer's Report. Hopefully you've had a chance to review these in your last June newsletter. If not, I again encourage you to read through those and learn more about the wonderful work everyone is doing to make HASP possible. Our operating budget for this year was $134,000. Our forecasted income, however, is $157,000 and some change. That's a wonderful position for us to be in. It's due largely in part to receiving more new members than we expected. So our funds for our dues line item is about 4% higher than last year. And again, that's because we received more new members than we budgeted for. In addition, our course fees have been very healthy, and we're grateful for your strong interest and enthusiasm in enrolling for courses. So we were, again, over in terms of what we budgeted for in course fees. We are actually 7% down from last year, but that's due largely in part to the COVID-19 pandemic and the fact that the second half of our winter-spring courses were canceled, and due to the fact that we are not requiring registration or fees for all of our summer courses that will be delivered online. Other income that we received is a result of some small profits from special events, as well as, again, your very generous donations from so many of you of your course fees from the second half of winter-spring term, even though it was canceled. We are so grateful for your support. That puts us in a wonderful cash position both to end this fiscal year and to start our new fiscal year, so thank you. To date, our expenses are a little over $96,000. We still have May and June bills to pay, and we expect the forecast for total expenses to be a little over $113,000, which leaves us in a great cash position again with approximately $40,000 or so in surplus that we can either use going into this next fiscal year as a cushion, especially since we are not charging for summer courses and we're not sure yet what the fall will look like. So it's a wonderful place for us to be in, and we're very grateful to Don Cowie, our HASP treasurer, and to his audit committee for their careful and responsible budgeting, as well as their careful attention to our expenditures. We also have several HASP funds that you probably know about, but I love to highlight those in case you don't, especially for new members. HASP has a restricted fund. This means that all of the money that comes in for membership dues and courses goes into our HASP restricted account. This account is what pays for our staff and for all of our supplies, our coffee, our cookies, our paper, our copy costs, our mailings, everything that it takes to operate this organization. The wonderful thing about HASP having a restricted account here at Hope College is that even when there is money left over, as this year, when there is a surplus, that money stays with HASP. And the HASP board decides whether to keep it in our operating account again as a cushion going into the next year, or we're able to move it to our scholarship funds or our HASP facilities fund. But what's so wonderful is that the college has agreed to keep this as a restricted fund so that HASP keeps any balance left over. In addition, we have our HASP Endowment and Facilities Fund. This is the fund that was started in 1998 by a generous group of HASP members who donated to a HASP Future Facilities Fund. Over the years, that has grown to a very healthy amount, and as you know, at this time last year, it was a little over $500,000, and the board approved up to $450,000 to be used from that account for our relocation and renovation project. I'm happy to report that that project is under budget by approximately $40,000, and we will be replacing that $40,000 back into our HASP Facilities Fund for future use. In addition to being under budget, we had a small committee who worked on fundraising for new funds to our HASP Facilities Fund. We are happy to report that many of you were so generous and that we have raised a little over $250,000 back into this HASP Facilities Fund for future use. That's wonderful news because it means that many years down the road, future HASP members will be in the same position as we have been to benefit from that account if we need additional facilities or renovations. So thank you again for your generous support. HASP Scholarship Funds. We have two of them. One was started in 2003 and one in 2014. These scholarship funds support 2 students every year, one an incoming freshman and one a junior or senior. Those accounts, their current value at the end of March was $52,000 and $50,000. Again, these are a result of the generous support of our HASP members and their commitment to Hope students and to lifelong learning. So it's a great privilege for us to support 2 students every year in their Hope College education. Thank you. A few highlights of our committees and their work. Our monthly program committee offered us 9 wonderfully engaging and powerful monthly programs this year and in 2 different locations. As you know, we flip-flopped our meetings between the Jack Miller Center for Musical Arts and the Holland Civic Center. After careful evaluation and feedback and discussion, the board did make the decision in March to hold all of our future meetings at the Jack Miller Center for Musical Arts. In part, this is because we are part of Hope College and we want to use Hope facilities and support Hope the same way that they support us. We also felt that logistically it was better in terms of providing support, both technology-wise and videotaping-wise for our meetings because we have the support of Hope staff. We will continue to provide a shuttle bus from DeVos to help make parking easier for those of you who want to park at DeVos and be shuttled over to Jack Miller. 2 of these meetings were canceled due to COVID-19, so we were not able to have our April and May meeting. As you know, we will be providing the July and August meetings online via Zoom, and we hope to have more information soon about when we'll be able to resume in-person meetings in the fall. Our Special Events Committee sponsored 7 special events this past year. Unfortunately, the last 4 that they had planned were canceled also due to COVID-19, but we want to say thank you to our Special Events Committee for the wonderful opportunities they provide for us to engage socially and also learn. These are great opportunities, especially for new members to be involved and meet other members. So we're grateful to our Special Events Committee for the fine work that they do. Curriculum. Curriculum is really the strong arm of HASP, and we're so grateful to our curriculum committees for the amazing job that they did this last year in planning courses. 135 courses were planned and proposed. That's up from 120 last year. And 285 sessions were planned. That's up from 256 last year. As we grow in membership, it's also our goal to grow in curriculum opportunities. Unfortunately, several of those were canceled due to COVID-19. I'm happy to report that our committees are working hard on rescheduling many of those courses that had to be canceled, and we will provide them in the fall or winter. In addition to regular courses, we provided several info sessions for members who are interested in becoming presenters, which is very helpful. As you know, HASP is a peer-led organization, and it's always our goal to encourage as many members as possible to teach courses. Friday Noon Series. This is a wonderful event once a month, Fridays at noon. It's free. It's a 45-minute presentation, and that is led by a wonderful committee who is chaired by Lauren Mings. And those were well attended, and we're very grateful for those opportunities. We also had 4 small interest groups this last year that met regularly to read and discuss and write and share their interests. This is a wonderful way for HASP to feel a little bit smaller and for people to meet in smaller groups and get to know each other. We also revised our registration system this year, so we were able to allow you to register for single sessions of multi-session courses. This was a guinea pig project for us to see if that helped with over-enrollment and if it made it possible for us to have fewer waiting lists. That way you were able to sign up for individual sessions instead of the whole series, so if you knew you couldn't be at something, you weren't registering and paying for it. We received very good feedback about that and seemed to be appreciated, so we will most likely continue that for the fall session as well. We also revisited and fine-tuned our proposal and edit process for course proposals. I want to say thank you to Marty Everett, who is our master editor for course proposals and saves us so much time from having to go through the nitpicking of periods and commas and all of those little details. It's allowed us to spend more time in our curriculum meetings discussing ideas and future courses instead of doing all the editing. These committees do a lot of work, and we're so grateful for their ideas and for their ability to reach out to presenters and or teach courses themselves. So remember to thank your curriculum people. For our service committee, we had 145 volunteer spots that were filled for faculty requests this year. This is a wonderful opportunity to engage with Hope students. Hope faculty truly appreciates HASP participation. HASP members love to do it, and the students enjoy having us as well. So we're grateful for everyone who engaged with students in the classroom. We also had approximately 50 HASP volunteers involved in other projects. 33 were Tulip Time trolley guides. Unfortunately, Tulip Time was canceled and they never actually got to be guides, but we're grateful for the time and energy that they gave ahead of time in meetings and training, even though that was canceled, and we look forward to Tulip Time next year. Additionally, we had volunteers who were involved with baggie books, AP test proctors, and several volunteer boards. Thank you for your service to Hope and to the community. Also, I'd like to thank the HASP Review Committee this year. We were a small but mighty committee that was still determined to put together a HASP review even in spite of a global pandemic. I would like to thank Jan Gebbin for her wonderful cover design. We just absolutely love it. Thank you, Jan. And she also did a lot of drawings on the inside, so we hope that you enjoy those. I'd like to also thank Dave Schmidt and Susan Miller for their help in putting this together. It was a different process this year. We had to meet online and weren't able to do a lot of editing, so the pieces were submitted, only edited by the authors, which is actually a really authentic way for us to do the HASP review. So we hope that you enjoy it, and we're grateful that we were still able to provide one even during these strange times. We had 30 HASP member contributors, a little bit down this year from previous years, but understandable given the circumstances. Given that we have been quarantined for quite some time now, I expect next year to be the biggest edition ever, since all of you have had time to read and write and draw. Additionally, I would just like to highlight that this was the year of our relocation and renovation of our new space. Unfortunately, we were only able to be here for a couple weeks before we had to shut down on Friday, March 13th. We miss you. We miss the energy and livelihood that you bring to this space. We miss the conversations that we have. We miss the camaraderie that we share together when we're learning in a classroom. I assure you that we will return as soon as we're given the green light by Hope College, and are working closely with Hope to make sure that our return process is a healthy and safe one for everyone. So please stay tuned. We do hope to see you again in person very soon and welcome you back into this beautiful space. Related to that, let me say a huge thank you to the fundraising committee and to all of you who so generously donated to this beautiful space. It turned out so well, and we are so grateful and so lucky to be here. We hope that the space will serve us well long into the future, and it's provided us a classroom here on the main floor while also maintaining our classroom on the second floor, which gives us so much more flexibility for courses and to provide more, given how many members we have. We're very grateful. It's gorgeous, has so much light, and I'm in a better mood all the time. Thank you. Finally, also at our March meeting, we had to say goodbye to Amy Baraducci. Amy was with us for almost 10 years, and I know so many of you will miss her as I do. She is a lifelong friend to all of us and provided such wonderful service and support to HASP these last 10 years. I talk to her regularly still, at least once a week, sometimes more. She's doing well in her new position, but certainly misses all of you as we miss her. So she promises to stop in and say hello from time to time, and she knows how grateful we are for her service. Very exciting news to welcome our new HASP employee, Susan Timmer. Susan was the result of a long selection process with many qualified candidates. We were thrilled to find this connection with her and that she said yes to us. We look forward to the years that we will spend together and to all of you meeting her in person. I would also like to say thank you to Susan for this project. Even though this was not at all in her job description, Susan is behind the camera now and is the person who is being asked to edit and put together this video for all of you for this meeting. It's a gift of hers that she has shared with us so generously, even though it's not part of her job description. Finally, we all learned how to Zoom, which is huge, and we added a virtual HASP page to our website. I know that Zoom is still not ideal for what we're used to in terms of engaging in learning and conversation together in person. But for right now, it is a safe and wonderful way for us to continue to engage with each other and to learn from the privacy of our homes. I'm so proud of all of you who have downloaded and connected with Zoom, who came to the practice sessions that we had online, and we look forward to seeing you in class this summer via Zoom. Thank you so much for your willingness to learn new things. I think it's evidence that we truly are lifelong learners and not afraid to try something new. I want to wrap up with a few important reminders, and I used these same words last year. They're from our founder, John Hollenbach, who was a professor of English here at Hope College. He wrote this in a paper that he shared at Eastern Michigan University in 1994 when he was speaking about HASP. These are his words. Preserving the sense of responsibility by every member is one of the constant challenges of HASP as an organization. Members must understand that to join is to contract to be a doer, a planner, a volunteer in service, on occasion a leader or facilitator, rather than simply a recipient. I love to lift that up to us because certainly as we grow larger and are now over 900 people, it's easy to feel disconnected or not responsible. But we love to remind you that we are a peer-led organization and we all have something to contribute, whether it's helping with coffee and cookies, or presenting a course, or serving on a committee, or volunteering in a classroom. You all have wonderful histories and brilliant minds, and you all have something to offer. HASP is so unique from all other lifelong learning organizations in that we are focused on being a peer-led organization. This is so unique to us and something we do not want to lose. So we encourage you to find ways that you can serve HASP. We're grateful for all of the ways that our members also serve Hope College and the community. This is a very rich tradition that HASP has, and we know that to be a HASP member is to be a doer, and we're grateful for that. There are a couple questions that I want us to keep before ourselves, particularly as we enter into this next program year. One of those is, how are you fulfilling your sense of responsibility to HASP? That will be a different answer for everyone, depending on where you are in life and what your health is and what your situation is. We certainly have members who were very active and involved in earlier years, and we're so grateful for that gift that they gave us of their time and their energy in earlier years, and now have a chance to step back and be more of a receiver. However, there are also some of you who are ready to jump in, who are ready to take on new tasks, new leadership. And we encourage you to come and ask us about that or let us know where you'd like to serve. A second question, hold on a second, is how is HASP serving Hope College and our community? Certainly with over 900 members, there are millions of ways that we touch Hope College and our community. Whether it's supporting sporting events, the fine arts, whether it's financially or with gifts of time, we're grateful, and we ask you to ask yourself, how am I serving Hope in our community? Third question is that as a branch of Hope, as part of Hope College, and as lifelong learners, are we modeling Hope's mission and vision? And are we modeling the virtues of public discourse? We talked about this last year as well, but I raise it again. There are a lot of events happening around the country and around the world that have heightened our awareness of racial injustices. We are in a polarized time in our society, and the mission of Hope College calls for us to think about important issues with clarity and wisdom and understanding. It calls for us to bridge boundaries that divide human communities and to be agents of hope. Together, we are facing the challenges of a pandemic, of economic uncertainty, and of overt racism that still exists in our country. I'd like to share with you a recent message from President Scogin, and these are his words. As we look to the future, we're committed to being an institution unified through our diversity and characterized by love, dignity, belonging, and equity. This is a journey and a responsibility for all of us, and one that will require actions to follow our words. I hope that we will look carefully at ourselves and our actions and our words, particularly as we engage with each other and in the classroom and in discussion. We all have work to do. I encourage you to read President Scogin's full message titled "We Have Hope." It was posted on May 31st at hope.edu/news. And I also encourage you to explore the anti-racism resources that have been gathered by Hope's Center for Diversity and Inclusion at hope.edu/offices/Center for Diversity Inclusion. One mark of an educated person is the capacity to participate thoughtfully in public discourse. Certainly at HASP, we have many opportunities to do this as we engage in courses around so many topics. It helps us express our views while at the same time we need to seek to understand the various counterpositions held. The 5 virtues of public discourse are not intended to inhibit the free and energetic expression of our views. Rather, they are offered as a set of commitments guiding public expression that should foster and energize us and open us to a constructive discussion of varying perspectives. Again, we mentioned this last year, but we will hold these up annually and in our classroom, and we will practice them. The 5 virtues are humility to listen, hospitality to welcome, patience to understand, courage to challenge, and honesty to speak the truth in love. It is my hope and belief that as HASP members, as true lifelong learners, with rich pasts and rich knowledge, we will be able to be a beaming light of these examples of virtues of public discourse. Finally, membership renewal will be coming soon. You'll be receiving an email with a link to renew your membership for the next fiscal year beginning July 1. We know that some of our fall planning is uncertain at this point, but we hope that you will continue to invest in your relationship with HASP and that you will renew your membership when you get that request. Even in the midst of this global pandemic, we want you to know that we are committed to providing learning opportunities, connections, and friendship. So please watch your email for a link for renewal in the coming week. In the meantime, HASP opportunities for our members continue in new ways. We're offering remote delivery of summer courses and a collection of resources and lifelong learning content that still allows you to continue to be an involved member from the safety of your home. We will continue to work with leadership at Hope College, partnered with local health officials to determine timelines for resuming our in-person operations. We do miss you, and we do want things to be back to normal. But we also want to be sure that when we do that, it's safe and healthy for all of you. So please stay tuned for important updates in the weeks to come. Surely, as we have new information, we will share it with you. Finally, I would just like to say thank you to Larry Lynn, our president for the last 2 years. Larry has seen us through big decisions regarding monthly meetings and where to hold them, fundraising, a renovation and relocation, many additional meetings, and he came into this work so prepared because he spent the whole year prior to becoming president attending as many meetings of committees as he could, even joining another lifelong learning organization to see how they did things. He was that invested in wanting to be well informed, and we are grateful for his leadership and investment in HASP. Amy and I are also very grateful for his very generous and humorous personality, and for his ability to put up with Amy and I teasing him pretty regularly. He handled that so graciously, and we're so grateful for your service. Thank you again for your support and commitment. We look forward to hopefully seeing you soon, and we're glad that you are a member of HASP, and we hope you will continue to be. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep hope.
Thank you, Kim. 2 at-large board members are retiring at the end of the month. They are Mike Economos and Connie Cariva. Thank you, Mike and Connie, for your 3-year dedicated service to the board. We will now recognize retiring committee members. Curriculum committees: Diana Nelson, Deborah Williamson, Gary Scholten, Ann Weller, Richard Cook, Harvey Doornboss, Brad Clow, Jody Colvin, and Luis Toledo. Special events: Chuck and Thelma Ferguson. Service: Myra Karachi and Marie Hamilton. Election of officers for the fiscal year beginning July 1st. As president, it was my responsibility to appoint 3 HASP members to the nominating committee. They joined the two outgoing at-large members of the board and Kim, our director. This year's nominating committee included Connie Carrivo, Mike Economos, Teresa Ellis, Scott Siegel, Al Verschure, and Kim Mendels. Thank you for your work. The nominating committee presents the following slate. President, Barbara Stedgink. Vice President, Brad Bright. Member at Large, Susan Couch, Diana Nelson, and Ron Giroux. There were no additional nominations for the 380-plus members who responded to the email through Monday of last week. The slate of officers was also unanimously approved. Additionally, we recognize the committee chairs who have been reappointed by the Board of Directors in the March meeting. Curriculum, Sharon Aronshorst. Monthly Program, Claudia Berry. Membership, Carla Verschure. Special Events, Judy Zeilman. And Service, Maura Reynolds. Although not appointed by the board, a special thanks goes to the following curriculum subcommittee chairs. Sarah Briggs, Fine Arts. Judy Parr and David Brower, Humanities. Bruce Bassett, Science, Medicine and Technology. And Mike Economos, Social Sciences. I now present to you the new Board of Directors effective July 1st. Barbara Stedgink, President. Brad Bright, Vice President. Don Cowie, Treasurer. Susan Couch, Member at Large. Diana Nelson, Member at Large. David Blatt, Member at Large. Ron Giroux, Member at Large. Paul Husingveld, Member at Large. Deborah Williamson, Member at Large. Sharon Aronshorst, Curriculum. Carla Verschure, Membership. Claudia Berry, Monthly Program. Maura Reynolds, Service. Judy Zeilman, Special Events. Professor Fred Johnson and Josh Bishop, Liaison to Hope. Kim Mendels, Director. And ex officio member Scott Travis, Executive Director of Alumni and Engagement of Hope College. Thank you. Incoming President Barbara Stedgink will now speak.
Thank you, Larry. And thank you, fellow HASP members, for the honor you have given me to serve as your president for the next year. I am extremely grateful for the support that so many of you have given me over the past several years that I have been a member of this amazing organization. So it is with gratitude and also some fear and trepidation that I step into this leadership position. As I complete my term as Vice President, it is my privilege and honor on behalf of the HASP Board and membership to express our thanks and gratitude to Larry Lynn for his leadership as President of HASP for the past 2 years. During his tenure, Larry saw us through the renovation project of our new classroom and office space on the first floor of Anderson Workman. This entailed the approval of funds from our own Facilities Endowment Fund to be used for the project, which then led to a fundraising campaign to rebuild our fund for future uses. During the past several years, our membership has grown substantially, and it became clear that the Hayworth Center no longer was adequate as a venue for our monthly meetings. Through the process of finding a new venue for these meetings, Larry initiated and guided us through an experimental year as we met at the Holland Civic Center and the Jack Miller Performance Hall, each for 6 months. The final decision to meet in the Performance Hall was made in March 2020. Always curious, Larry went above and beyond the normal presidential duties to research other lifelong learning organizations in order to learn about their structures, operations, and activities. He even went as far as joining our sister organization at Calvin so that he could attend their annual meeting. In addition to serving as our president for 2 years, Larry has been an active member of the Special Events Committee, and he has also been a presenter of several courses in areas of history, one of his passions. Larry has served and led us with a great love and admiration for this organization, which has been evident in all situations and decisions made during his tenure. His mild and gentlemanly style of leadership has been appreciated by all of us who have had the pleasure of serving with him. I know that if we were together right now, you would all want to give a well-deserved standing ovation to Larry. Since we cannot do that right now, please take the time to send him a note, email, text message, or give him a phone call to express your thanks for a job well done. Many of you know that one of our traditions at the annual meeting is to present the outgoing president with a HASP President's Pin. We gave Larry his pin last year, and he has proudly worn it to every monthly meeting. Last year, as I presented the pin to him, I thought to myself, next year when I follow in Larry's footsteps, he will have taken care of 2 major issues, one being the renovation project for our new facility, and the other being a decision regarding the monthly meeting venue, which we were planning to decide in the spring of 2020. How lucky could I get? Then March 2020 came, and everything changed. Several years ago, I adopted a personal mantra that life is just one adjustment after another. If ever this mantra was to be put to a test, it has been over the last few months and now. As recommendations and guidelines were made due to COVID-19, HASP adjusted. We did what we needed to do. We canceled classes and all other activities. Kim and Amy kept touch with us, directed and managed HASP from their homes due to Hope's campus being shut down. They made many suggestions and sent several links to us to encourage continued learning from our homes. Committees met via Google Meets and Zoom. A summer term curriculum was planned and is now ready for us to enjoy remotely from our own homes. All our committees are continuing to meet and are making plans for fall and the coming year. But at this moment, the big question is, what will our future be? What will the fall be like for us? Well, we don't know for sure what it will be like, but we are looking at ways to continue our programs, classes, and activities safely and with integrity that maintains the quality that our membership expects. I can assure you that all decisions made regarding our activities have been made and will continue to be made with the health and safety of our members as a major priority. Having attended many committee meetings over the past years, I have been impressed at the thoughtfulness and concern for our members that goes into each and every decision. Yes, we are in a time of challenges. Everything is different, and we do not know how different things will be in the future as we are still in a wait-and-see period with regard to the pandemic. However, we will adjust as needed, and HASP will be okay. In the last few weeks, we have been presented with another challenge after one man's death brought underlying prejudices and injustices to the surface. This has exploded into a worldwide call to our country, our cities, towns, and communities for a response to this other virus that has gone on too long. How will HASP respond? What can we do? And will we do it? In whatever ways we choose to answer these challenges, HASP will continue to fulfill the purposes set forth in our Constitution, which is to be an organization that enriches the lives of our members intellectually, culturally, and socially. Additionally, to make a wealth of wide-ranging knowledge, talent, and experience to Hope College and to the greater community area. Thank you again for the great honor that you have given me to serve as the next president of HASP. Please stay well, stay safe, and I hope to see you all soon.
This year, our HASP Distinguished Service Award for 2020 goes to someone that we all love and admire very much. Every year we ask for nominations for this award, and this year we received multiple nominations, all unanimous for the same wonderful person, Terry Holden. Terry joined HASP in 2008 after retiring from an esteemed nursing career at Chicago's Loyola University Medical Center and moving to Holland with her husband, Bill. Terry has served on Curriculum Science, Medicine, and Technology Committee, coordinated many HASP courses, been a member of the Service Committee, served on HASP Board of Directors as an at-large member, Vice President, and two-term President. She was also an integral part of the Steering Committee and the Fundraising Committee for our new HASP suite, and these are just a few of her leadership contributions. During Terry's term as President, she served with passion, insight, and distinction. These qualities made her a key player and a strong advocate for HASP in our closer alignment and partnership with Hope College. This has resulted in a strong bond between Hope and HASP that has richly blessed both groups. Terry's work on the Service Committee is remarkable. She can be counted on to offer thoughtful comments and encouragement, as well as generously volunteer her time. She has served as a Baggy Books mentor, proctored AP exams at West Ottawa High School, volunteers at the gift shop and in the surgery waiting room at Holland Hospital, and serves on the hospital's scholarship committee for nursing students. A great passion of Terry's is also volunteering her time and expertise here in Hope's nursing department. This is a commitment that Terry has given tirelessly to since 2009. She helps in the nursing skills labs, works with orientation for students, prepares them for exams and graduation, offers mini courses in important areas not covered by curriculum, and is an important resource and mentors for student and faculty. She's also helped with research and has co-authored 2 published papers with Hope faculty. Though these are all clearly laudable accomplishments, we would be amiss not to mention that one of our previous HASP student workers referred to her as Tiny Terry. There is nothing tiny about Terry's heart or her passion or support for Hope, for its students, and for HASP. Thank you, Terry, for your wonderful example of stewardship and leadership and lifelong learning and service. We are grateful for you. Congratulations.
The unexpected pandemic over 3 months ago has made our age group especially concerned about face-to-face contact. Today, we are still waiting to see how the process of a new normal plays out. In this tough time, together with Hope College, we are still working on the details of how we will engage this fall. We will follow Hope's lead as to in-person instruction with students, and then decide and respond accordingly for the needs of our group. We remain committed to providing lifelong learning for our members in whatever ways we can do safely. We have been forced to think about new ways to learn, and this is good. Lifelong learning is our mission, and I embrace any new challenges in the ways that will further that goal. Thanks to all the board members and our friend, former Office and Project Manager Amy Baraducci, who is still with us in an advisory role through the end of the month. Our success as an organization has been enhanced since the start of our partnership with Hope College over 3 years ago. As I step away from the office of president, I greatly appreciate your support over the last 2 years. How fortunate HASP is in the person of Barbara Stedjink, my successor. She is experienced and dedicated to HASP and is more than qualified to be the next president. I especially enjoyed our joint effort in honoring Amy and Kim at our monthly meeting last December. The person I appreciate the most is our executive director, Kim Mendels. I have known Kim for about 14 years. She has always been a delight to work with. Kim is dedicated, hardworking, a visionary, available for advice, and not afraid to ask for advice. She is the straw that stirs the HASP drink. Kim, thank you so much for your leadership. And now, the joke I promised you at the beginning. The sharing of marriage. The old man placed an order for 1 hamburger, French fries, and a drink. He unwrapped the plain hamburger and carefully cut it in half, placing 1/2 in front of his wife. He then carefully counted out the French fries, dividing them into 2 piles, and neatly placed 1 pile in front of his wife. He took a sip of the drink, his wife took a sip, and then set the cup down between them. As he began to eat his few bites of hamburger, the people around them were looking over and whispering. Obviously, they were thinking, that poor old couple. All they can afford is 1 meal for the 2 of them. As the man began to eat his fries, a young man came to the table and politely offered to buy another meal for the couple. The old man said they were just fine. They were used to sharing everything. People closer to the table noticed the little old lady hadn't eaten a bite. She sat there watching her husband eat and occasionally taking turns sipping the drink. Again, the young man came over and begged them to let him buy another meal for them. This time the old woman said, "No, thank you, we are used to sharing everything." Finally, as the old man finished and was wiping his face neatly with the napkin, the young man again came over to the little old lady who had yet to eat a single bite of food and asked, "What is it you're waiting for?" She answered, "The teeth." This concludes the 2020 HASP Annual Business Meeting. Thank you for tuning in.